Okay, now you're coming back to create and apply more affirmations. Affirmations being statements that you say to yourself with repetition and feeling. Remember, you must get yourself involved with the statement and say it over and over to drive the message into your unconscious mind. And as your unconscious mind receives the message, and it will, then it will start to give the related thoughts and beliefs a higher status in your brain. Your brain is made up of billions of brain cells that interconnect with each other across its various areas. Whenever you have a thought, electrical energy is sparked along a network of brain cells. When you learn something new, new connections are being made between brain cells. They literally grow and reach out like branches of a tree, or perhaps more like the roots of a tree. They then seek to make connections with their neighbours. If you had all the same interconnections in your brain that someone else had, then you would most likely know all that they know. However, you have so many brain cells and your brain makes so many interconnections between them as you go through your life experience that no one can ever replicate your brain. No one else could ever be you. You truly are unique. Only you get to have your unique set of interconnections. And it's the patterns that we create through making those different connections in our brain cells that allows us to house and activate our own unique sets of thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and responses. However, though we are unique, we all share some common qualities, and perhaps the most important one for our purposes here is that we can change those existing interconnections and we can form new ones. Now, a mass of breakthrough research has been accumulating over recent decades in an area that has been named neuroplasticity. Essentially, neuroplasticity is the name given to the finding that the human brain is incredibly adaptive. The word plasticity is used because we can mould our thought and response patterns and create new ones, rather like moulding or remoulding something made of plastic. The neuro part refers to neurons, the technical name for brain cells. Neuroplasticity is something that we can all benefit from. It means we are extremely adaptable, quite unlike what we might once have thought. We can change our thinking, we can change our beliefs, we can change our behavioural responses, and we can change how we feel. Our thoughts, beliefs and feelings are not set, even if at times they may feel that way. They are merely patterns which have become constructed in your brain from the ways you've been thinking and feeling over time. In the same ways that you can change your muscle fibers when you exercise, you change your neural connections when you exercise your brain. When you think, and especially when you imagine things with your emotions involved. You have 100 billion brain cells right there inside your head, and they are not set. They are ready to respond to the inputs that you put into your mind and create new networks between them. They are ready to form patterns that allow you to have the knowledge, skills, attitudes and beliefs that enable you to live more and more as you want. Now here's the reason why I'm talking so much about neuroplasticity. Thoughts that are emotionalized, then driven home with repetition, have a stronger influence in your brain. Now for a moment, be sitting down comfortably and close your eyes. Good. And start to imagine flying high above a city. Now you don't have to visualize clearly. Just relax and get a sense of this. Let your mind imagine, perhaps like flying in a helicopter or like a bird or like a superhero. Just imagine hovering or flying over a city. That's it. Good. Get a sense of that city down there below you. And as you look down on that city, you see a vast network of roads that intersect and root off from each other. Just imagine that. That's right. And these roads are then linked to other roads that link to the entire country and even to other countries beyond that one. That's it. Imagine that. Now, some of these roads, of course, are highways that have been forged across greater distances, linking that city to other places. These highways are large and very influential. They are easy to access, and many smaller roads lead on and off from them. These highways have a powerful impact on what vehicles travel where and how they get there. Okay, and you can open your eyes again. Well done. Now, when you repeat statements over and over with emotion, you are creating these highways in your brain. Those networks become increasingly influential over other networks in your brain. Your neurons reach out with branch-like protrusions called dendrites, which thicken and allow more neurotransmission to occur between those brain cells. You are metaphorically and literally giving your brain a workout. And like your muscles do in the gym, your brain cells are growing in strength and ability by your own design, not by chance. And so this is why affirmations work. When you repeat statements, you work out those neural networks which hold the associated information. When you add emotion, then you engage brain cells in other areas of your brain, forcing your brain cells to reach further and make more interconnections across your brain. You are activating and recruiting more brain matter to get involved in these requests. And they will. It only works. So put to bed any doubts that you've ever had about affirmations or such processes. Realize you have a perfectly brilliant brain right there, no matter what that evil class teacher used to tell you. Your brain works just fine and responds perfectly well to affirmations and all the things that we're going to be applying in this YouTube channel. So with that said, let's get back to using affirmations to forge new highways in your brain in the ways that help you to think and feel more the way that you want. In the video before this one, I gave the suggested affirmation, I like myself. When you say I like myself, you are sending nurturing messages of self-acceptance and self-love within yourself. Now, this may sound strange to your conscious mind, but remember, there's your conscious self, and then there's your unconscious self. We are complex beings. We have many parts within our personalities, or perhaps many personalities within our parts. Whatever the case, do this affirmation justice, and you will start to feel a sense of alignment within yourself. When you say, I like myself, you instantly start to boost your self-esteem. And as you repeat that statement with feeling, of course, then you set in motion new levels of positive feeling, of confidence and self-belief inside yourself. So go ahead again and say that affirmation 20 times with feeling. Don't worry about looking silly. I mean, okay, if you're on public transport or in a library right now, that might not be the time to scream this one out loud. Do it in your head instead then. But if you're in private, ignore any silly messages that come to you that say, oh, this is stupid. You must get past such concerns, such inhibitions. The positive conditioning of your mind is too important to let any limiting thoughts from your conscious mind get in the way. This is about bigger and better things. So pause this video and go ahead and say that affirmation, I like myself, again 20 times. Okay, well done. Now take a moment to close your eyes, relax and breathe. Notice how you're feeling in this moment. That's it. Now I can't see you, but I'm guessing that you're feeling pretty good at least. Your conscious mind might be saying, well, that's because I felt silly saying that affirmation. No, that's because you felt happy. And when you were saying those words, you were igniting positive energy within yourself. When you say the words with feeling, your brain releases a neurotransmitter called serotonin, which is essentially a feel-good chemical. There's no downside to serotonin. It helps us to relax and feel well, to wash away any stresses and balance ourselves into positive states. Now, the next affirmation that I'm going to suggest you apply is, I love my life. This is another perfect affirmation. Remembering the 5 rules for instructing your unconscious mind, this is simple, personal, present tense, positive, and it has a great emotional meaning to you. So go ahead now, pause the video again and say, I love my life 20 times with meaning now. Okay, welcome back. Now it could be a good idea to have some sort of counting system so that you know when you're done counting and you can return to other things. You could set yourself a certain number of repetitions with these affirmations and you might count them on your fingers. Or you could use something else like mantra beads. A great friend of mine gave me these mantra beads, and they're used to repeat mantras to yourself over and over. So you don't even have to look at these things. You can feel your way to a certain number of repetitions, just guiding the tips of your fingers and thumb to the next one to the next. I like myself, I like myself. Well, perhaps instead you might prefer to time yourself for a couple of minutes at a time. Little bursts of affirmations to a period of time. Do whatever works for you. You know yourself best, and so let yourself have a way of motivating yourself to say it and do enough of it so that it starts to positively impact how you feel increasingly regularly. In the next video, I'm going to guide you to start creating some longer affirmations tailored to focusing your mind and beliefs on what you want.